Brought to you by Penguin.
The New Leviathans, Thoughts After Liberalism, by John Gray, read by Justin Avoth. The privilege of absurdity, to which no living creature is subject but man only, and of men, those are of all most subject to it, that profess philosophy. Thomas Hobbes, Leviathan. Chapter 1. The Return of Leviathan. During the time men live without a common power to keep them all in awe, they are in that condition which is called war, and such a war as is of every man against every man. In such a condition there is no place for industry, because the fruit thereof is uncertain, and consequently no culture of the earth, no navigation nor use of the commodities that may be imported by sea, no commodious building, no instruments of moving and removing such things as require much force, no knowledge of the face of the earth, no account of time, no arts, no letters, no society, and which is worst of all, continual fear and danger of violent death, and the life of man solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. Leviathan, Chapter 13. 21st century states are becoming Leviathans, spawn of the biblical sea monster mentioned in the book of Job, which the 17th century English philosopher Thomas Hobbes used to picture the sovereign power that alone could bring peace to unruly humankind. Only by submitting to unlimited government could they escape the state of nature, a war of all against all in which no one is safe from their fellows. As he portrayed it in his masterpiece Leviathan, a state of nature was not in the distant past before the emergence of society, but the breakdown of society into anarchy, which could happen at any time. It did not matter whether the sovereign was a king or a president, a parliament or a tyrant. Only a state whose power was unfettered could secure a condition of commodious living in which industry, science, and the arts could flourish in peace. In the centuries that followed, it seemed Hobbes was mistaken. States emerged in which power was limited by law. Democracies developed in which governments could be held to account. In the 20th century, the defeat of Nazism and communism seemed to show that liberal government was inherently more effective than dictatorship. After the end of the Cold War, many believed liberal democracy was becoming universal. Today, states have cast off many of the restraints of the liberal era. From being an institution that claimed to extend freedom, the state is becoming one that protects human beings from danger. Instead of a safeguard against tyranny, it offers shelter from chaos. New dictatorships have emerged in Russia and China, where communism and free markets have both been rejected. Where democracy continues to function, the state intervenes in society to an extent unknown since the Second World War. These are not Leviathans Hobbes would recognize. The goals of Hobbes' Leviathan were strictly limited. Beyond securing its subjects against one another and external enemies, it had no remit. The purposes of the new Leviathans are more far-reaching. In a time when the future seems profoundly uncertain, they aim to secure meaning in life for their subjects. Like the totalitarian regimes of the 20th century, the new Leviathans are engineers of souls. The upshot has been the return of the state of nature in artificial forms. Even as they promise safety, the new Leviathans foster insecurity. By deploying food and energy supplies as weapons of war, Russia has projected famine and poverty across the globe. China has established a surveillance regime which, through exports of technology, threatens freedom in the West. Within Western societies, rival groups seek to capture the power of the state in a new war of all against all between self-defined collective identities. There is an unrelenting...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?